You're watching Fugitive Red-Eye, and welcome to another episode of my How I Would Change series. Today will kind of both be a how I would continue and how I would adapt type episode, because it's sort of a mix of the two. And what I mean by that is I'll be talking about how I'll make a new Simpsons game. See, if I were to make a new Simpsons game, it would be sort of a continuation of the Simpsons hit and run. That being said, with doing that, I would obviously have a lot more levels. I'd probably have between 10 to 20 actual levels, each of them having about 10 missions or so, plus bonus missions. I'd have the gameplay be very similar to The Simpsons Hit and Run, but updated with much better physics and graphics. And I'd make the driving in it much better, because, let's face it, the driving mechanics in Hit and Run are kind of shit. As far as actual level design, I'd actually do kind of a hybrid of Hit and Run and Road Rage, because I kind of like elements from both of the designs. It's hard to go into each and every single little individual detail about that, but for instance, I like the idea of Mr. Burns' mansion being in the Springfield Mountains, and I like the design of the Springfield Mountains, although I think it should be a bigger level. As far as playable characters in this game, I would obviously have Homer, Lisa, Marge, Bart, and then Maggie. On top of that, I would also have Abe, possibly Patty and Selma, and as far as non-Simpsons family characters, possibly Moe, maybe Principal Skinner, because we all know he can steam a good ham. As far as actual area locations, like I said, they would sort of be hybrids of the level designs from Hit and Run and Road Rage. So I would include, first off, obviously Evergreen Terrace, and within Evergreen Terrace, obviously I'd have the power plant and all that stuff like it does in Hit and Run. After that, I'd probably have, Springfield Downtown. That one I would kind of use the Road Rage design while implementing in some of the design from Hit and Run and obviously adding some new stuff to it as well. I'd also make it so you could go to Herman's Antiques because I really want Herman to be in the game. Unlike Hit and Run, I'd also actually have it so that each individual store sells different items. So it's not just, getting the same item at any store you go to. You actually get different items at each individual store. For instance, let's say you need outfits, you could go to some sort of clothing store. Weapons, maybe go to Herman's, because I think you should have some sort of weapons for specific missions to add some variety. Other levels I would include would be the Springfield Mountains, the Springfield Squidport, the Entertainment District, and I would put Moe's in the Entertainment District like it is in Hit and Run. Either that, or I would implement the Entertainment District into the downtown level, so it's sort of a combination of the two. As far as it goes, the Maggie levels, they wouldn't be like normal levels, they would be more little bonus levels where you have to crawl through vents and stuff, kind of like in the Simpsons game, because Maggie would be kind of a hard character to play as normally. I would have each character have their own sort of special ability, again kind of harkening back to the Simpsons game. I would have the final boss of the game probably be Mr. Burns, and I would have a lot of different bonus features you could unlock, similar to the collector cards, but maybe a different kind of collectible. I'd have tons of unlockable characters and things like that you could use in a multiplayer mode that would be similar to Road Rage's multiplayer mode, but also have different features as well. Because I do think that Road Rage and Hit and Run would actually go pretty well together, so kind of having a multiplayer that's like Road Rage, whereas a campaign like Hit and Run would be pretty cool. Maybe even have a co-op story mode. In that co-op story mode, maybe have the Patty and Selma level be like one player Patty, one player be Selma. And maybe on the Homer level, have one player be Homer and one player be Herbert Powell. Things like that. It'd be kind of interesting. As far as levels, I would actually do a combination of making up original stuff and also adapting some of the older classic episodes into levels themselves. And I'd also title this game something similar to Road Rage and Hit and Run. I'd give it another traffic-themed name. I can't think of any right off the top of my head, but have another one kind of like that, maybe something like The Simpsons Vehicular Manslaughter, or The Simpsons Crash Course, or something like that. I'd also have a Treehouse of Horror level, similarly to how Hit and Run did. And Halloween-themed costumes for each of your characters that your console automatically puts on Halloween, kind of like how Road Rage does with the Halloween Bart. Maybe I'd have some exclusive levels that were only available during holidays, like a Santa level or a Halloween level or something like that. Kind of like how there's different vehicles that you can use on Road Rage. But yeah, that's kind of my ideas for a basic Simpsons game. It's kind of outlined. It's not really super detailed, but I think you get the gist of it. I would definitely make the levels more varied, because that's another problem with Hit and Run, is some of the missions are very repetitive. I would kind of try to eliminate that and add some variety. Anyway, that's all I really have to say. Do let me know in the comments down below what you'd do if you made a new Simpsons game. This has been Fugitive Red-Eye, and you have a great day.
Subscribe to Fugitive Red-Eye.